Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and I'm actually surprised I haven't made a video on this before. When I was younger, I got kind of annoyed when bringing back Combatants on Death Battle became commonplace. I thought that if you could bring in new characters instead, there's no reason not to. And while I still love it when Death Battle dives into new characters and franchises, I can appreciate when they bring people back for a cool matchup or to give them a better episode. So today I thought I'd solidify my stances on who I'd most like to see come back to the show one day. Doesn't have to be this upcoming season or anything, these are just the names I've kept in the back of my head. Now, to be clear, this list is quite personal to me, and I expect many people watching to have combatants in mind for this that I won't bring up. The reasoning for some of my picks will mostly just consist of, I'd like to see them again, and that's okay, even if there are characters that may, quote, deserve it more from a greater perspective. I should say I'm gonna stick to those who have only been on the show once, since their return would be more impactful, and like my top 10 favorite Death Battle combatants video, I'm gonna limit it to just one character per series, even though I don't think that's actually gonna change that much of the list. And I'll have some honorable mentions at the end that I still wanted to bring up for one reason or another. Alright, let's get started. At number 10, we have Mewtwo. Full disclosure, Mewtwo is probably my favorite Pokemon out of who's been used on the show, but not only that, Mewtwo vs. Shadow just sucks, undeniably, for multiple reasons. Both those facts put together really makes me want to see him get another chance to shine. He still makes for a very interesting combatant to use. I know he's got a few potential opponents like Black Wargreymon and Sephiroth and such, and frankly, I can't say I'm too picky here. First and foremost, I just want Death Battle to try again with him. And by that, I mean actually try with him. At number 9, we have Natsu Dragneel. I really don't know how to explain it, but there is something about this character and his world that appeals to me quite a bit, and it's sad to me that we haven't gotten a really good fairy tale episode yet. I think one that goes all out with Natsu would be so fun, especially with his newer material. Like Mewtwo, I can't rank him too high because I don't have any specific matchups for him I'm really pushing for, but if Death Battle can find something that works, I would really appreciate seeing him in today's Death Battle environment. It could be a great time. At number 8, we have Godzilla. I have gotten a lot more into Godzilla over the past year or so, especially after Godzilla -1. Man, that was an experience. And while I don't think Godzilla vs. Gamera is a bad production, it still has an early 3D animation that I'm sure the Death Battle crew could one-up today, not to mention all of Godzilla's insane material. At this point, I've come to accept that he'll probably fight Hulk if and when he returns, based on how much the crew likes that idea. I obviously love Hulk, and I am now warming up to this fight more. I don't know if this would be soon, but if it happens, I don't think I'd have much to complain about. It'd go crazy in a good way. At number 7, we have Michelangelo. I think the Ninja Turtles are fun as hell, and it's depressing that only one of them has an episode of their own. So I wanted to pick another one to get one, and well, I don't think I need to explain why I think he's the most deserving of one if you've seen the TMNT Battle Royale. I know a lot of people are gravitating towards Mikey vs. Jay Walker. I'm personally not that familiar with Ninjago, but it does sound to me like it works quite well, although I will add that the last Ronin vs. Old Man Logan is such a compelling idea that I wouldn't mind seeing either. As long as Mikey and his opponent are paid proper respect, I'll be happy with it. At number 6, we have Scorpion. Yes, I am basic, but Scorpion is my favorite Mortal Kombat character, and I just love what he's all about. And after all this time since Ryu vs. Scorpion, I definitely think he could use a more refined analysis and overall episode, especially considering the new Mortal Kombat games since then. Scorpion's one of those characters you can make a ton of matchups for, but not all of them will be very good, and while this might change later, I think Scorpion vs. Wolf from Sekiro was the most well-rounded and interesting comparison that I've heard for him. Because it's not just about coming back to Death Battle, it's about coming back in a good way. I definitely want that for such an icon like Scorpion, and this is a way it could be done. At number 5, we have Spawn. Spawn is one of my favorite non-Marvel or DC comic heroes, and is so wild to analyze and talk about. Like Godzilla, there is way more to cover than what Death Battle did last time, and his abilities combined with a standard animation budget would look unreal, you cannot deny it. He has a few opponents, but you guys know how much I love Spawn vs. Ghost Rider as a concept. It's in my top 15 most wanted episodes now, at least. It would make me so happy to see this get announced for many reasons, a big one being that Spawn deserves more than just a season 1 episode. He's awesome, what can I say? At number 4, we have Deathstroke. I thoroughly enjoy Deadpool vs. Deathstroke, don't get me wrong, but I think we could use an episode that dives a little deeper into what makes this guy so dangerous and so well-rounded. There's also the fact that he's probably my favorite DC villain, or at least one of them. I love seeing him in everything, and that would include another death battle. It's as simple as that. This could go for a variety of opponents, but my main one is still Taskmaster. If Death Battle was to do just one more street tier Marvel vs. DC fight, which is not what will happen, but if it did, this is the one I'd want. I mean, it's basically all the street tiers rolled into one on each side. It would be a great opportunity to revisit Deathstroke, go into a ton of feats, and give both of them a challenge that they were made for. At number 3, we have Bowser and Eggman. Yes, I am giving both of them a joint spot here. It honestly felt like the appropriate thing to do in this case. These are characters that really should make a return to the show, each for a completely separate reason. We need a Bowser fight that does him full justice, and an Eggman fight that plays it completely straight debate-wise. They're also great video game villains that I have great memories with, and I know not everyone wants to see them fight each other, but this is like my 3rd or 4th most wanted episode now. It would kind of be like my Mario vs. Sonic since I started watching the show after its time, and it would be such a huge aspect of my gaming enjoyment coming to life. I love the characters, and I think it works really well. At number 2, we have SpiderMan. As much as I appreciate Death Battle's attempts to use other spider people, I am adamant that we have unfinished business with Peter Parker. He has been through so much, he has so many impressive abilities and feats of his own, he is my favorite Death Battle combatant and needs a current episode in my opinion. I will admit that my thoughts on who I'd want him to fight are very wishy-washy at best. Like, I don't like Spider-Man vs. Ladybug as much as I used to, Spidey vs. Donatello didn't appeal to me much before, but now it does a little bit, etc. But my point is, he has options that could work. Whether or not you love some of them, he is more than capable of getting a great episode, and that's good enough for me. If everyone in DC's Trinity can come back multiple times, Spider-Man can get something new too. Come on. And finally, at number 1, we have none other than Mickey Mouse. Now, I get it. This is a bit of a stretch, especially if Kingdom Hearts wouldn't be considered much in his return. But I really can't help it. Mickey is one of the top faces of my childhood. I love seeing him on screen, and without him, there are so many movies and TV shows I love that just wouldn't exist, both in and out of Disney. And at this point, I don't see Mickey vs. Bugs being less than my most wanted episode anytime soon. I know people have come up with other opponents for Mickey, but I don't care. This is the legacy of animation itself. It is my childhood. It cannot be brushed to the side. It doesn't need to happen soon. If it does, I can't complain, but I'm okay with being patient. I love Yoda versus Mickey, I really do, but this is where the mouse belongs. And now to get some honorable mentions out of the way, part of me would be happy to see Luke Skywalker or Naruto come back just as a fanboy, but we've seen so many characters with similar abilities at this point, and I can't come up with a perfect matchup for either, even though there are a couple I wouldn't mind seeing. I think Luke deserves it a little more given his episode's quality, but I digress. Dante is kind of in a similar situation to Godzilla for me, but there's another DMC fight I definitely want to see more, and I still love Dante vs. Bayonetta for what it is. Mega Man X is another Battle Royale combatant that I'd like to see get his own episode, and there's at least one matchup for him I'd like to see. Kratos and Doomslayer get mentions for the sheer fact that they've changed so much and would essentially operate as different characters analysis-wise. And to end things off, I really wanted to put Ben 10 on the list because I love him and think he could get a better episode, but I'd only want it provided that it's more or less free of toxicity, and I don't have much hope for that happening, so I couldn't bring myself to do it. I'm so sorry. But that, my friends, is everything about this topic I gotta say. Thank you all so much for watching, and you can let me know your own picks in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know Death Battle's on break and all that, but I still got some stuff planned for the next while. I hope to see you there. Have a great day, and peace out.